The Young, and The Restless. Spoilers, full Monday update, the 6th of July, 2026. Welcome back to our channel, Soap Fans. Today is a fantastic Monday to dive into the absolute madness that is Genoa City. We have so much to unpack from the latest drama, so grab a huge cup of coffee and let's get right into it. So let's just start with the biggest, most insane thing that happened on Monday, July 6th. The Abbott Mansion. You guys, I am still shaking from this scene because it was literally out of a horror movie. Diane Jenkins and Kyle Abbott finally walking through those front doors. And remember, Diane has been missing for weeks. Weeks! She was literally being held hostage in that creepy house with the barred windows by Dr. Lawrence Markham, who we all know is probably Martin Laurent with a new surgically altered face. Patty Williams paid him off. Patty literally handed him an envelope of cash in the park. And Jack has been losing his mind, getting blackmailed by Patty for sex just to get a photo of Diane in a padded cell. So Diane finally escapes or gets rescued. We don't even know all the details of how she got out yet, but she walks into a house with Kyle, probably thinking she is finally safe. But no, this is Genoa City. You are never safe. They walk into the dining room, and it is just pure chaos. Jack Abbott is on the floor, bleeding. He reaches up in this desperate, agonizing way and grabs the tablecloth, pulling it down, along with everything on the table. The crash was so loud and so violent. Kyle yells out for his dad, and they rush in, and there's Jack, just covered in blood. And honestly, my heart completely broke for Kyle. Kyle has been through so much lately, blindly defending his mother to Detective Burrow, completely naive to the true danger she was in, and now he finds his dad bleeding out on the dining room floor. He calls 911 immediately. But guess what? The operator says, someone already called. Someone already called, which means the killer, or whoever did this, is still in the house. Or at least they were just a second ago. And then Diane lifts the tablecloth on the floor and finds a butcher knife, a massive, bloody butcher knife. Diane immediately knows. She looks at Kyle with this absolute terror and rage in her eyes and says, Patty did this. And of course she did. Who else would do this? Patty has been completely unhinged lately. She wanted Jack back. He wanted to recreate that sick magic they had on the yacht. You know, the yacht incident that Diane walked in on. Patty is obsessed. And if Jack rejected her, or if Jack found out the truth about Dr. Markham and tried to stop her, Patty would absolutely snap. Patty has a long history of snapping. Remember when she shot Victor? Remember the whole Emily Peterson face-stealing nightmare? Patty is dangerous. And Kyle, panicking, tells the paramedics and the cops when they arrive that Patty stabbed his dad and is probably still hiding somewhere in the house. And sure enough, the cops go upstairs to search. And where is Patty? Hiding behind a bed, like a terrified child, playing hide and seek. But her hands are covered in blood, completely covered in it. And what does she say? She doesn't confess. No. Patty Williams looks at the cops with those wide, delusional eyes and says that Diane slashed her and stabbed Jack. What? Are you actually kidding me? Patty is trying to frame Diane. And the craziest part is, Patty has been setting this exact narrative up for weeks. She told Jack that Diane had a mental breakdown. She told Jack that Diane was in a psychiatric facility. So now, Patty is using that exact same lie to the cops to make Diane look like a violent lunatic. So the paramedics bring Jack downstairs on a stretcher. He is unconscious but alive. Thank goodness he is alive, because I don't think I could handle losing Peter Bergman on this show. I just couldn't do it. But anyway, Patty comes downstairs, escorted by the cops, and she has the nerve, the absolute unmitigated audacity, to ask Detective Burrow if Jack is okay. Diane absolutely loses it. She screams at Patty, calling her a crazy psycho, and Patty just flips the script so flawlessly. Patty looks at Diane and says, "Poor Jack, how could you do this to him?" Patty tells the cops that Diane is the crazy one, that Diane escaped from her psychiatric care, and that Diane burst in and tried to kill them both. And Patty even points to the blood on her hands as proof that Diane attacked her. I mean, the manipulation is almost impressive if it wasn't so purely evil. Diane is screaming that Patty is lying, that Patty is the one who is crazy, and that she needs to go to the hospital with Jack right now. But Patty says no. She is going to the hospital to see Jack. And Detective Burrow, played by the wonderful Matt Cohen, who I am honestly so glad is back on my screen, just yells, "Enough!" He tells them both that nobody is going anywhere until he figures out the truth. And let's be real, the Genoa City Police Department is not exactly known for their stellar detective work. So who knows how long this is going to take. Maybe I'm being too harsh on Burrow, but come on, they never get it right the first time. But wait, we have to talk about the other massive thing happening in this episode. Phyllis Summers and Matt Clark. Yes, you heard me right. Phyllis and Matt, what were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well? They are at Crimson Lights late at night having coffee. Matt is thanking Phyllis for helping him out with the whole Kane Ashby situation. And Phyllis, who is usually so smart, so sharp, is actually entertaining this guy's act. Matt claims he is just the new guy in town who needs friends. But Phyllis knows Victor is behind this. She knows Victor ordered Matt to buddy up to Kane to spy on him. She tells Matt that Kane is not the guy to help him and that Victor is clearly pulling the strings. So Matt asks Phyllis if he should be looking to her for friendship instead of Kane. And then he suggests they go to the Shadow Room, Noah's new club. And at the club, Matt actually points out that Phyllis is defending him. He asks her why. And Phyllis actually apologizes for hurting him. She says she likes their friendship. And Matt turns on the charm. He tells her she is incredibly charming and that it is clouding his judgment. And Phyllis agrees to go on a date with him. A date. I am literally screaming at my screen. "Phyllis, what are you doing?" This is Matt Clark, the man who terrorized Sharon, the man who gave Nick drugs and caused that horrific crash, the man who is faking amnesia. But you know what? Maybe I get it. Phyllis is in a really dark place right now. She just got framed by Victor with that AI evidence. She almost went to prison. She watched Christine get arrested instead. She is losing control of her company. Her best friend, Lauren, is worried sick about her. Michael Baldwin is exhausted trying to defend her. Phyllis is isolated. She feels like everyone is against her. So when a guy like Matt comes along and pays her some attention, maybe she is just desperate enough to take it. Or maybe, just maybe, Phyllis is playing a long game. Remember a few weeks ago when Phyllis kidnapped Matt and tied him up in a basement to force him to confess? And Sienna came out of nowhere and knocked Phyllis out to save Matt. And now Phyllis is dating Matt. I changed my mind. I think Phyllis is playing him. She has to be, or maybe she's not. I don't know anymore. This show makes me crazy. So they go to the Shadow Room, and let's talk about the vibe at this club because it is so tense. Sienna Bacall is there, and Sienna is a complete wild card. She is the one who is violently loyal to Matt, and she is glaring at Audra Charles. Audra walks in, looking fabulous as always, and Sienna just immediately starts throwing shade. She tells Audra that Noah isn't there and reminds her that she isn't Noah's girlfriend. And Audra, never one to back down, just smirks and says, "Not yet." I love Audra. She is so messy but so confident. But let's remember the context here. Audra has a deep history with Noah. They lost a baby together years ago, a miscarriage that Audra never even told Noah about until recently. Audra just had that heartbreaking conversation with Sally Spectra about it when Sally was taking her pregnancy test. So Audra being at the shadow room, surrounded by Noah's things, it has to be triggering for her. But she is playing it so cool. She asks Sienna why Noah left early. Sienna claims there is a family medical emergency, and then Noah actually shows up. Audra asks him about the emergency, and Noah says it was his grandmother, but she is okay. Nikki Newman. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on Victor and Nikki right now. Victor is literally gaslighting Nikki into thinking she is dying from these severe headaches. He drugged her. He made her sign a fake medical power of attorney that actually gives him control of her Newman Enterprises shares. Victoria is the only one who sees that Victor is looting Nikki's estate before she even passes away. So Noah thinks Nikki is just having a minor medical issue, but we know the terrifying truth. Victor's a monster. He is destroying his own wife for power. Again, how does this fit the show's usual style? It is classic Victor, but it feels so much darker and more sinister this time. So while Noah is talking to Audra, Matt and Phyllis walk in, and Noah completely freaks out, and he has every right to. Matt is the guy who supposedly died, who ruined his parents' lives, who is now claiming amnesia. Noah demands to know what they are doing there. Matt, playing the innocent victim, promises he won't cause any trouble. Noah looks at Phyllis like she has two heads and asks how she can possibly trust this guy. But Phyllis just asks if they can stay. She is so stubborn. She just won't listen to reason when she gets like this. And then Noah does something really interesting. He tells Matt and Phyllis to stay away from Sienna. Noah knows Sienna is bad news. He might not know the full extent of it, like that she supplied Nick with the drugs that caused his crash, or that she violently attacked Phyllis in that basement, but he knows she is toxic. And now, all these toxic people are in one room. Sienna, Matt, Phyllis, Audra. It is a powder keg waiting to explode. And honestly, I am here for it. I am so tired. I have been staring at this screen for hours typing this, but I cannot wait to see what happens next. Will Jack survive the stabbing? Will Patty go to jail, or will she actually get away with framing Diane? Will Phyllis figure out Matt's lie before it's too late? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's be real. This show is a chaotic mess right now, but it's our mess, and we love it.